Don't ever try that again.
Another prisoner?
Another prisoner.
He gave me no choice.
We just brought this gentleman in, didn't we?
Sheriff, you're focusing all your attention on the drug ring, the major crime in the area, while the assaults, the rapes, and the wife beatings go unanswered.
Look, Mr. Williams, we're a poor county. We're short on manpower, but we do what we can.
Sheriff, I'm afraid you're going to hear about this next election. If there's not some changes made soon, you men are going to be out of work.
I'm sorry, Mr. Williams, but we just don't have enough men to do it.
Oh, I'm very concerned about that man's condition, but he shouldn't attack me.
This man's been up for wife beating and rape charges 3 times and a number of other assaults.
If you got an attorney,
Why should I need an attorney? I'm an investigator in the line of duty. Why should I need an attorney?
your assailant is in the hospital now. We don't know his condition.
I came to get some answers.
You could be facing a first-degree murder charge.
Oh, I could be facing a first-degree murder charge, but I don't think so. I'm an investigator in the line of duty, and I think somebody set me up. I think this lead to Chinatown, it was to trap me. I don't think it's got anything to do with this missing persons case. I don't think so.
We checked your record, and you used to be a lawman, and a very good one. You will work with us, or you will stay on trial for first-degree murder.
We can backdate the records, making you an officer of the law in the line of duty when this fight took place. then you will walk.
You can choose the prison that you want.
You'll officially be a deputy, but you'll be working with the sheriff's patrol.
I came to see Grace.
Well, it's like this. You didn't come to see her whenever she was living. What do you want to come see her whenever she's dead for?
Look, I want to see my sister. Mr. Brown, I'm really sorry to hear about your wife Grace dying, and well, I heard about you punching her brother out, and I don't blame you a bit. I never came to see her when she was living, and I understand, and I just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you, and if you want me to view the body, okay, but if not, that's up to you.
Yeah, just go right ahead and help yourself. She's right there.
Okay. Well, you know, I tell you, people grieve in different ways. You know, some people fight at funerals, some people cry, and there's just a different way to show grief.
Well, that's true. You're right.
And really, I feel for, your brother-in-law, but I tell you, when a person grieves, they can do anything.
Well, that's right.
But I tell you, I just feel that he was a little negligent. He could have stopped by and visited more than he did.
Yeah, he was definitely negligent. And he finally seen the light, I reckon. I tried to show it to him the best I could.
Well, I guess people see the light in different ways.
Yes, I'm sure he did. Yes, sir, I guarantee he did.
Well, I'm
They
glad.
seen the light.
Well, I'm glad to see you get back on your feet and laughing again. Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, that's true. There's ways of getting on sometimes. You have to just bite the bullet and roll on.
Well, again, I thank you for this coffee, and I'll be on my way.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
And I hope to see you next
Come
time.
by again the next time.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. I like working in the bars, but to be honest with you, I'd rather do the farm work more than any of it, because I've had more experience at that.
Well, I realize that exercise is good, and well, really, I've been a loner most of my life. I just enjoy just getting out and daydreaming.
Well, that's nice too.
I like being around people, but even though I'm around people, I keep a lot to myself.
Well, yeah, it pays to do that in any situation.
Well, just like I go up to the store, get a cup of coffee, and I just enjoy watching people come in and go, listening to them talk.
Yeah, I have too, yeah.
I could
do
drink the coffee at home, but I just wouldn't get that much good out of it.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes you run up on a lot of people you know that way too. And that makes the day go by a lot better.
I agree. I guess what I'm saying, a person can, well, they can be in a crowd of people, yet they can keep to themselves.
That's right. That's exactly right. And sometimes too much. That way there's not a whole lot of enjoyment in it. So it kind of pays to go ahead and get out a little once in a while.
I agree.
And do things that you like to do yourself. Like me, for instance, I like to fish a lot, stuff like that. And I don't know exactly what your hobbies are, but or ideas and different things, but I reckon everybody's different. That's the way I understand it.
We worked together with the sheriff's department years ago. I'm with them now, not by choice. What I'm saying is, I might need your help. Well, I didn't think I was ever going to get out of a mental hospital on one of these crazy patients jumped me into. I had a hearing coming up in 3 days. Well, they didn't hold it against me, but well, I hadn't missed my mother's funeral. I mean, it's a sad time, and but I'm thankful to be getting out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming at me and, you know,
Yeah.
bring me back home. And,
I'm just glad you got back home. That's the main thing.
yeah, it's really good, you know, just enjoying this beautiful country, you know, riding by the road, you know, just seeing things that are going on.
Well, what can you tell me about Walter Lee?
Well, I think that Walter Lee is a middle-aged man that's trying to keep up with the younger generation, and that could make him dangerous.
That could make him very dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Want to go up or down?
Okay.
I try for a 9 because I go ahead and tell you all the aces are in play. Don't put them on the top of the deck, genius. You are drunk. You put in the card. You put in the discard pile. You got.
Throw this guy
All right,
out.
come on. I put 2 in.
Hey, wait a minute, I got aces and eights.
He's betting 2.
Hey, 2. It's 2 to you, big guy.
Well, I had a third one.
Ooh.
You going this way or?
Yeah. You should
That's
have.
right.
It's your bet.
I don't know which
I'm
way.
hanging there.
I don't know
It's
which
3
way
to
I'm
you.
going.
He raised it. It's 3 to you.
Oh, okay.
Put 1 more in.
They went bet. Oh, he was Henry.
$5. That's $10. 1s, 5s, and 10s.
All right, I needed what, $2?
You need $3.
$3. All right, that's $3.
I thought
see.
they said they served cold beer.
Okay, yo, Jack, I want 3.
Okay, who's the dealer?
He is.
I want 3.
All right, let me leave these aside here.
Considering you've already dealt yourself 4 or 5 times.
And we going to the left?
Look, just give me 3 cards.
Give him 3, give me
Here's
2.
three
I want
cards.
3.
And do you want any?
I want 2.
I want 3 more cards.
I was supposed to be first.
Me
I want-
too.
All right, here's
I want
two
3
then.
aces.
I want 3.
Well, I ain't a car dealer.
Give me.
Now look, if you're not gonna pay, we're about to settle this right now.
Well, we sure do it, cause I'm telling you, I don't.
Hey, what are you getting involved with? Oh!
Oh, you're getting involved. The best thing you do, be you big tub of guts, is go right back in there where you came from. Cause you don't want to fool with me.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Bryant. I'll just call 911. I'll call the sheriff's department. I'll get them over here.
Sounds like a winner.
They'll take care of this. They'll handle it. We've had enough for one night. I'm gonna go in the back and I'm gonna make that phone call right now.
Yeah, it's too bad about Lee taking that bad beating the other day. You know, those were the same devils that we fought with when I first met Lee. When Lee stepped in, helped me out. I mean, they were tough boys, rednecks, whatever you want to call them. They were bad boys. You know, we don't need people like that.
Mr. Robinson, I just don't feel that Walter Lee got a good enough beat. He's no more than a bully that likes the reputation as a street fighter. And most of his victims that he's beat up on, they're not all that guilty. He might have been a good Samaritan for you that day.
At the bar. Well, you should have stepped in and helped Lee. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Lee can handle him. He can handle anything. Man, when I seen that guy jumped in, when he helped to save me from them buggers, I mean, he was a whirlwind. I mean, he can tear these guys up apart. But you still should have stepped in to help him, regardless.
maybe I should have stepped in to help Lee, but I thought that he might be involved with this Dragon Street gang that's terrorizing the people in this community. And I thought if he was, they might step in to help, but nobody came to his aid, so maybe, just maybe, Lee's not involved with them. I hope to see you next time, Mr. Robertson, and have a good day. Have a good day.
I'm thinking about giving up the bar, and I reckon I'll just go into doing other things.
Well, whatever you want to do, but I mean, if you think you get too old to handle those young punks, you can do whatever you can, but I just feel that a lot of times a man can make himself too old before his time.
Well, that's true, but a lot of times it pays to get you 45 out.
Well, it might be, but I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, John, you know, he runs the bar, and they just can't afford to call the law down every time.
Well, yes.
Well, what I'm saying is good to have a man that he can handle things. And, like you're capable of keeping that place in control. And you can go back, you can go fishing, do anything you want to do, but I think a man should really do what he can do best. Dad, I just want to thank you for standing behind me all these years. And well, I just had trouble getting out of that mental hospital. We had a hearing coming up, and just like, my mother, she just died, you know, just before the hearing.
Yeah, well, I'm real glad that you were able to, you know, get here, even though you weren't here on time. And I realized what you had to go through to get out of the institution and everything to come here. So, you know, I can accept what went on and why, you know, you weren't here on time.
And I just appreciate you protecting my name. You know, I had a good military record, and I'm just saying the people here, if they would know, they might be afraid to be around me.
Well, hopefully, your situation will keep improving, and you'll be able to come back and live a normal life with us, and not have to be over there where you are.
Dad, I heard that you wanted to see me.
Yeah, the sheriff's department called and said that they needed to talk to you.
Well, it must be important because the deputy told me that he'd be out to pick you up if you didn't come in.
Okay, I'll go down and see what they want.
Mr. Lee, I got information that you threw a man into the pavement and cracked his skull while you was in the military. And they put you in the insane asylum, and you done it again.
Well, those were accidents. I just threw them, and I can't help it happen.
Accidents? You threw them mighty hard, didn't you, to do that?
Well, all I'm saying is this man in the park, he attacked me, and I put him down. He got his buddy. They caught me while I was walking on the trail, and well, what happened was he was alive when I left him.
So you didn't worry about it? You didn't worry about what might happen to him? You just left him laying there?
Well, yeah.
You think that was right? You should have seen to it that nothing was happening to him and he wouldn't die, or either call 911 or something. You just don't walk off and leave somebody like that in that situation.
Well, you got me there, but all I'm saying is he was alive when I left him.
Well, that ain't saying much.
Would you like it?
So, Chiquita, what are we going to do with you?
Dad, this Dragon Street gang, what it is, they demand money or they beat it out of people. And when they give them their money, it's hard to indict them.
Miss her, but at least we know she's in a better place.
Well, I understand. I'd like to get out at least once a week to visit her grave, and I just hate that I wasted this time all these years. I mean, you know that I saw when I came home and leaving the military, but, well, the last 10 years it has been rough.
And you know, when you're dealing with life, you have to make the best of each day. And sometimes we don't make the best of each day, and it gets away from us. So it's hard to keep up with.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I just need a little time to myself. Doesn't look like some people ever learn. I just don't feel that this attack was from the Dragon Street gang. I personally feel it was somebody trying to rob me. What I'm saying is the Dragon Street gang, they're well organized. They got trained fighters. They scare people into giving them their money. If they don't, they give them a good beating. And what I'm saying is well organized because whoever's behind it knows if they hand over the money, there's nothing really to stand up against them in a court of law.
I practiced this dance day after day, and William promised to take me to the community ball, and yet he never showed up.
Well, I know that you met William one time when I saw him on Pike, so you talked with him.
I seen William in the drugstore a week later after the dance. And he told me he had met another girl. If he had just told me.
I guess I should have told you that I was being sent to a mental hospital, but I just feel that it'd be best for you that you found someone else. And I know that you'd been sent with you. talked with him one time when I was home on Pikes. I thought it'd be best that possibly you and him get together.
You know, if he would have just told me, I know it would hurt, but not like it would that day because I was wanting to go to the dance so bad.
How was your day, Rob?
Bittersweet, Jed. We had a two-story fire. We got everybody out. A man's dog runs back in. He runs after it. So we got him out, but it was touch and go for a while. And of course, everybody's out safe, but the building is demolished.
Pretty scary time.
Yeah,
huh?
it was. Yeah, it was.
You know, me and Mama and Daddy went down there fishing. And Mama got one of them catfish on that hook, and she wouldn't take it off to save her life. She was afraid of that thing horning her. And Daddy went over there and was taking it off. And he was trying to take it off, and she was trying to get away from it. You know, that's been years ago. And I can remember it just like if it was yesterday.
Dad, he's still going strong. He's still a volunteer fireman, but he mostly attends to meetings and takes refreshments at the meetings for the rest of the men. And they let him go out on call once in a while, but mostly it's just to where they've been called to burn a house.
Yeah, if you want to go fishing, we'll go right down there to the lake. That's got some big bass in it. I'd like to catch me one.
Yes, Mom was alive last time we visited this park. I was home on leave in the military. That was the last time I ever saw her. Mom and Dad and myself. Yes, they were happy memories. Well, I just had problems.
What kind of problems? What kind of problems you have that you couldn't come to your mother's funeral? Wipe that grin off your face. Look at me. You know you're despicable.
Your dad's really looking forward to you working on the farm. And I was glad to hear that too.
I don't know that I'm really interested in working right now. I'd like to have a little time off to myself.
Well, I can understand that, but he's really looking, he really needs you to work on the farm, and so we're all looking forward to seeing you out there.
Well, you know, it takes money to run a farm. You know, Dad, he's had to hire help, and
Yeah, but Dad's fallen on hard times, you know. You probably haven't been back long enough to realize that.
I had to give it some thought.
Okay, okay.
You know, son, I could really use you on the farm.
You know, Dad, I'm not all that crazy about going out those tobacco fields, but if I was going to take you to get you out of this church, I don't know, I might consider it.
It would be good exercise for you, and it would be a good way to stay in shape and stay young.
Well, I know that since Mom's death, you know, you just been keeping to yourself and spending most of the time around the church, which is a good place. But I think it might do you good to get back with the field hands, get back to your business.
That way, it would take my mind off the problem that we're having. Time and tide would heal it over a period of time.
Well, Dad, I'll tell you, I believe I consider it.
Okay, that's good to hear, son.
Well, how are you gentlemen today?
Just fine.
You doing well?
You doing all right?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. And how are you doing today?
Well, Mr. Howard, you seem to be in an awful cheerful mood today. I don't guess you've heard about the murders in our community.
Well, I'm afraid I have. It's very unfortunate and tragic, but we have to go on with our lives. We can't sit around brooding. We just got to go on with our lives. And it's unfortunate, but we can't grieve forever.
I agree. I don't feel sorry for these men. They tried to mum money and wouldn't take no for an answer. Let's go to work.
All righty.
Mr. Howard, we don't want to sign terminal risk clients. What I mean by a terminal risk client is, if you feel they've got one foot in the grave, don't sign them. It'd be money in our pocket now, but the overhead's killing us.
Well, Mr. Williams, I feel we're in complete agreement.
Bill, I know that you've been counting on your son working on the farm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him working on the farm, and I think it'll help bring our family closer together.
Don't try to force things. Maybe everything will work out.
I hope it will.
Mr. Howard, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your donation to our Help the Homeless program.
Oh, you're such a bleeding heart liberal, John.
My heart bleeds a little for the underprivileged.
They're beating our brains out. I say if they can't find work, stick them in a concentration camp.
Well, I hear you must have a soft spot in your heart somewhere. I hear you donated most of your office space to the sheriff's department.
We really want to thank the sheriff department for returning the money to the store.
Well, that's no laughing matter. There's a vigilante in our presence, and we don't know who he's going to hit next.
Well, at least somebody's doing something about it.
Well, it don't make him look like the bad guy.
Well, this man is setting himself up to be judge and executioner. And if any of you make a mistake, he could draw down on you. Think about your children. Most of you's got teenagers.
Mr. Howard, what do you think about that?
Well, I think as an insurance representative, we could be putting ourselves at extreme risk. We could be paying out a whole lot more than we could possibly take in.
How are you, gentlemen?
Good day.
Good day.
I about not recognized you. I seen you in the shootout in Westville. You fooled the audience, but you didn't fool me. Your gun misfired on the first round, and you fired on your second shot. Your opponent fired before you, and he would have killed you. No, the cross-drawn fanning your gun, Mr. Swain, that only works in the make-believe world.
Well, that's right, Mr. Howard, but the Western Shootout, it is a make-believe world.
You seem to know a whole lot about guns, Mr. Howard. Won't you come on out to the shooting range with us this evening?
All right.
One shot is all you need to kill a man, if you can hit what you're shooting at. And I favor the single action arm at 45. By cocking the hammer, it forces you to wait that extra second.
Do you care to deal your hand, Mr. Howard?
I'm an insurance salesman, not a gunman.
Well, there are a lot of people that don't like insurance salesmen. So why not take advantage of a free lesson?
Why not?
Man, what a shot.
There you
Mr. Williams, the reason we called you in is Mr. Howard could be a suspect. He could be a vigilante.
Sure, that's crazy. Mr. Howard's a good family man and a law-abiding citizen. Listen to this.
Rob, he's a good friend of Dad's. He's worked in law enforcement most of his life. He's retired now, and he spends his retirement helping Dad out on the farm. And he's a volunteer fireman and a friend of Sheriff Whittaker. Sheriff Whittaker still patrols the area with his deputies, and he stops by to check on Dad as well as Rob. They have coffee together, but the sheriff's main interest is just checking on them and making sure everything's okay.
I always enjoyed coming by for that cup of coffee, but one of the reasons I come by is because there's been some vandalism in the community here. The school's been vandalized in different places, and I just thought I'd come by and check and make sure everything here looks good.
Okay, come on in. We'll have that cup of coffee. Take.
Hey, mister.
What do you want?
Give me $10 for my mama. She's sick.
Well, I got a better one. My mama's sick, and I need to buy her medicine.
Man, don't give us no stuff.
Well,
Give us some money.
oh, I got your money, all right. I'll give you your money. This one's for good luck. And that one's for mother. And you want some too? Do you want some too, boy?
No,
I think
don't
you need some.
No, bring it. Don't you? No.
I got your mother. Scum. Get what you deserve. Well, how are you gentlemen today?
Fine. Fine.
And how are you, Mr. Williams?
Mr. Howard, you're in awful cheerful mood today.
Penny, I realize that we've made mistakes. I feel your biggest mistake was waiting on me. Yet I returned home to restore unity within the family, with Dad, also with us. I realized that we've had our trials, and we've had our tribulations, and we've wasted a lot of years. Yet there's time. There's time for both of us. There's time for both of us to live a quality life with each other.
I understand that you met a young lady. Why don't you bring her out here sometime so she can meet everybody?
I'd like to, Dad, but she just likes keeping to herself. But if I can get her out here, I will.
Okay, that sounds good. We'd like to have her.
It's obvious that we have a vigilante in our community. We've had 5 killings so far. 5 killings.
This is what we came up with. Mr. Howard, a family man and model citizen, killed a man in Maryland in 1989. At his trial, the community filled the courtroom for moral support, and he was found not guilty.
He shoots that gun real good.
It's not linked, but the street killings was up in the area over the next 4 years, and most of them were blamed on drugs.
Well, Mr. Howard, I'm just filling in for Al.
Well, don't worry. I locked the door.
Well, if you're here to sell me some insurance, just want to let you know I'm covered.
Well, I'm afraid you just wouldn't qualify.
What sense?
You see, you're what we call a terminal risk. Somebody who's almost guaranteed to get killed. So you wouldn't qualify for our insurance. See, I checked the records. You have a criminal record. You killed a man a while back. You were tried. You served a few years. That man, he can't go back to his family. He is still in his grave. He'll never go home again because of you, Mr. Johnson. You think going straight and them letting you go like that will just let everything go rosy. No, Mr. Johnson. I'm afraid it doesn't set too well with me.
Look, I didn't want to kill him, man. He had a gun in his cash register, and he went for it.
Well, you get off scot-free and he just rolls around in his grave. You were committing a robbery, Mr. Johnson. Come now. I don't think that's going to sit very well with me at all. I won't give you any slack. I'm afraid something's going to have to be done about you, Mr. Johnson.
Well, you know, back in the old days, in the old West, kind of had a code of honor. A man faced up to another man with a gun. If a man was shot down in cold blood, he was hanged. Hanged for it.
Well, I'm going to give you the honor of drawing for your gun first. Why don't you just go for it, Mr. Johnson? Just go for it. So goes some more scum. By all means, it needs to be investigated. But I think you're on the wrong track.
Mr. Howard, I've talked with Officer Johnson before he was killed. And we got evidence to believe that the citizens of this community hired you to assassinate this dragon gang. I say you're not a vigilante. I say you kill for money. We talked it over and we didn't have enough evidence on you to go any further. We wanted more information. I personally feel you killed Mr. Johnson. You killed Officer Johnson. And what it is, you've got the backing from the leading citizens in this community.
You know, if you live in a fantasy world, we've got real cases. We've got reality here. Real cases and real crimes to be solved and real investigations. We don't have time for fantasies.
What I'm saying, Mr. Howard, this is completely out of my hands at this time. I mean, it's an officer of the law that went down. There'll be plenty of school investigators to try to get down to this problem. Have a good day, Mr. Howard. Have a good day.
Okay, come in.
Well, you got a cup of coffee ready for me?
Yes, sir, sure have. Got it ready right there. Just help yourself.
Okay. You know, I'm planning on going on as long as I can myself, splitting wood, just doing the things as long as I can. I'm not crying about my age. Some of these people, they make themselves old at 30.
Really? Well, I look at it like this. I ain't got but 10 more years. I'm going to try to get by as easy as I can. And I'll be drawing my Social Security, and that's what I'm looking forward to, and doing some big fishing.
Well, I don't blame you for that. I mean, if fishing beats work, I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah, it does. It beats the heck out of work. I mean, I'd rather be fishing anytime.
Well, when a person's worked all their life, I just feel they deserve it.
I do too. Yes, sir. I definitely say they deserve it.
Well, look, I just enjoy stopping by for this cup of coffee every morning, and
Well, yeah, you're welcome. Just come right on by any time.
And well, I guess I'll be on my way to work after I drink this.
All right. Well, that's good.
Will I see you tomorrow?
Uh-huh. Same time, same bat station. Take care of yourself. Come on back tomorrow.
I wish they don't fish too hard. I
I
don't learn to fish.
understand.
Man, I just want to take this time while you're on break to tell you just how much I appreciate the work that you've done. You know, tobacco is a business, and we're no better than a help, and you men have really worked good. Every one of you. And we want you to stay on. Now, Dad, he survived a long time because he's always met the schedule. If the crops need to be sprayed, they've been sprayed on time. And if tobacco is in your blood, if farming is in your blood, we can provide enough work for you over the winter that you don't have to go to a factory. We can't say that for all the workers because they're not as dedicated as you. And Mr. Bryant, I mean, maybe work for him one day and then we'll prime the next. So what I'm saying is, we want you men to stay on. So you think about it. Look, just go and take your break now, and we'll be good. Dad, I've talked with this young lady, and she said she'd like to come out and meet you sometime.
That's wonderful. Why don't you bring her out so she can meet everybody? We'd love to have her.
I'll be glad to.
That's good.
First page news. Insurance representative John Howard was killed by a possible mugger. Mr. Howard fired first when a lawman at the crime scene investigated. They saw that he had blanks in his pistol. The witness got a description at a distance. Briefly described the assailant. What I'm saying is, I personally feel, as an investigator, somebody would have been a close friend to Mr. John Howard, claimed to be his friend, but really what? So they switched real bullets in his gun to blanks. Whoever that was could possibly be with the Dragon Street gang. They could be over this Dragon Street gang. And really, it shouldn't be that hard to find this person. Just an investigator. It's sad that things have to turn out that way, but it don't change the fact this has given me all the lead that I need to break this case. All the lead that I need.
Mr. Lee, I come by to tell you that there's been a murder and your son is a suspect in it.
Sheriff, we've been friends for years, and I just can't believe my son would do a thing like that.
Well, that's the reason I come by, to talk with you man to man. I'd already have him in jail if I didn't think a lot of you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming by and giving us the opportunity to talk.
We need to get to the bottom of it.
That's good. I'll work with you in any way I can.
Sheriff, it might have been somebody that looked like me. It might have been somebody that fit my description. It was not me. Well, that's true. His buddy verified that the scuff I had happened in the park. Besides, it'd been hard for me to move the man that size.
Well, you could have later killed him in the street.
What I'm saying is that I was not in the area when Mr. Howard was killed. It might have been somebody that fit my description. It might have been somebody that looked like me. And possibly they was wearing a hair replacement.
That puts suspicion on him.
Look, just because Walter Lee is my cousin, that's not why I'm ruling him out. I admit that it fits his profile. But I've done a lot of investigating and he is not involved with this Dragon Street gang. I personally feel that whoever changed real bullets to blanks in Mr. Howard's gun, I feel that's the person behind it, who pretended to be his friend. Now I've ruled out Insurance Agent Williams because he just does not expect Mr. Howard is a violent person. I've ruled him out. What I'm saying is, I'll catch up with him. Just give me time. I'm not the guilty party.
Maybe somebody's just making it look that way.
What I'm saying, the investigation that I've done, Mr. John Howard, he was hired by the citizens of this community to stop this Dragon Street gang. I was working with y'all to help stop him. I personally feel they tried to kill two birds with one shot. I personally feel that whoever beat John Howard to death, I feel they tried to imitate me. Possibly wore a hair replacement, possibly done something. Then, John Howard is out of the picture and I'm behind bars. The street gang still roams the streets.
Rob, you used to be in law enforcement before you retired. What do you think about Walter Lee?
Well, Walter fits the profile, but I don't think he's guilty.
Why do you say that?
Well, actually, I'm going on my gut feeling, and that's what I used many times before DNA came in. 90% of the time I was right. Sometimes I was wrong.
Yeah, that's what we always used, was the gut feeling. We didn't have DNA back then, so we always used our gut feelings.
Right.
Personally, thank you for working with me again. We worked in law enforcement, and what I'm saying helping me chase down these suspects, and I've narrowed it down to the last one. Now, if he's not the guilty party, we've got nothing to lose. But if he is, I've tricked him into thinking that I know a whole lot more on him than I really do. And if he's the guilty party, he'll be coming after me the same way he did John Howard. He'll be coming after me.
Well, the man confessed and he'll be on arraignment today.
I knew my son wasn't guilty.
Well, the only trouble he'll be in, if he's in any trouble, will be just not reporting it on time.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Come on in. Come on in. How you doing?
Okay. Well, I tell you, what type of work you gonna be doing today?
I think I'll probably be out working a little bit in the woods. I'll probably be cutting a few trees and different things.
Well, I'll probably see you down at John's place tonight, and I hope you don't get too rough with some of these people. But
I'll try not.
of course, I know they know to stay in line.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If they ain't in line, we'll kind of get them in line,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just the way life is. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad, you know.
Yeah.
They've got the man behind this street gang in jail right now. He's behind bars. And I'm no longer needed with the sheriff's department. As investigator, I'm just not going to take on another case right now. It just gives us more time to spend together. Correct our mistakes, iron out our differences, and decide what is best for the both of us. I'll be checking with you on a regular basis, and also I'm going to be working with Dad out on the farm.